Welcome to Module 5 about cascading style sheets. Right now what we've done in the first 4 modules is we've played around with a little HTML and we've changed some of the styles, the font colors, the font faces, and the sizes. What we're going to do is we're going to start incorporating that same skill set using cascading style sheets, which is a preferred method of doing that. So HTML really wasn't intended to provide attributes like color and size for the content. So where we had H1, which referenced the heading, or the body section, it's just supposed to reference all the content, everything between the tags. But then additional tags were added, like font and even image, and it wasn't really designed for that. So that's where CSS was born from. What cascading style sheets allow is they allow for us to create a rule or a set of styles that would be like font, face, type, color, even right justification, left justification, and so forth, for elements and objects, which we'll discuss later. And what we can then do is reuse them for multiple sets of elements by referencing their name. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how this solves the problem, and we're going to look at the definitions, demonstrate various types, and then the proper implementation. So remember we did this code to the right where we basically had some fonts in different colors, here red, blue, and orange, with a different typeface of Arial, Arial, and Arial, which would be different from the default, which is different from the Hello Brave New World. So this is a little bit cumbersome and it's a little difficult because we got to constantly write fonts, we got to make sure that we have the closed font, and so forth, when it might be best served doing some other way. So we want to apply a different style to each of these. So from the previous code, we're going to create a section first called style, and it's going to end with the slash style. So all our styles are going to go in here. Now ultimately later on I'll show you that we don't actually have to put them in the same file. We'll actually put them in a separate file and bring it in. But for now, we're just going to create this section here on the right side near the top called style with the slash style, and we're going to put our styles in here. Now, I'll explain what this does. Is this style is for the paragraph. So any tag that has a paragraph, it's going to set as the font family, or it's going to basically use the Arial font. So all of our styles will basically go within a style section, and you can have many different sections within the HTML code, but for now we're going to keep everything up at the front. The style is actually pretty simple. It basically consists of a few parts. We have what's basically called a selector, which is the item upon which the rule will be applied. So we're going to create, the rule is within the braces, so the selector defines what we're going to apply this on. In this case, it's the paragraph element. The declarations are the set of styles that are going to be applied to the selector. So basically within those braces, we will have the font family as Arial. Notice these are what are called name value pairs. The name of the attribute that we're going to, or the name of the property, and then its corresponding value. Here's another name of the property, and here's the corresponding value. And they're separated by these semicolons. Every single one separated by a semicolon. There's an error down in here. This one would be incorrect, but generally correct. Color blue, we should have a semicolon there in order to finish this. So this would be an example of an incorrect one. Now, let's take a look and see how we can do this. We create the style here for P, making this font family Arial, and then we added the rules for H1. Font size 18, color blue, font size 15, color green. So we can basically change the way H1 and H2 react in the browser. Again, I have my style and close style, and this H1 corresponds to this, and this H2 corresponds to this one. If you had multiple H1s, they would share this style, which we'll see is part of the problem later on. So after you've tried that, what we then want to do is say, well, what about for text? How would we use this for just general text? So we can create special styles for particular elements and not all of them. In this case, I'm going to basically continue using this paragraph font family Arial, and you'll see that I've got P Hello Brave New World, and I've got P tags down here, but I've modified these two. What I've basically said is I've created an ID saying, you know what, apply the style or the rule for red. Now you'll notice there's no number sign in front of here, but there is here. And what that basically does is that tells the HTML browser, tells the browser that if I use the pound key, that this is referencing an ID. So if ID red, we're going to look for pound red, or what we call the number sign red is pound red, and then its associated rules, which in this case is font size of 18 and color blue. We do another one for green, and we have, again, here's my pound green, font size 15, and the color green. So again, the IDs are denoted by the pound symbol in front of them, and then they can be used associated with the other items. So now I just want you to put in practice basically what we've done. What I'd like you to do is take the Gettysburg Address example that you've done and make a copy of it. We're going to change the example to use cascading style sheets or cascading style sheet styles. I'd like you to change the color of each sentence to a different size, change the color of each sentence and change each sentence to a different font in descending order. Each sentence should get smaller and smaller and smaller, so you may need to start around 24px or 26px and a different color of your choosing. You could choose any color you want as well. So you're going to create different IDs for them. Also, now we're going to begin a little bit of exploration. I'd like you to explore different styles. I'd like you to look for these styles online. So I want you to take a look and find out how you can use font family, font size, font style, font variant, font weight, and font stretch, and use them inside of this assignment. So you'll have to take a look online to see exactly how those are used and then apply them within your example.